Oke, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi
wabarakatuh.
wabarakatuh.
We are from class 4SC2 from group 6 about internet research and analysis skill, and we're gonna presentation about the content filter. So before we do the presentation, first of all, let us introduce ourselves. My name is Muhammad Arsy Fahrezi.
My name is Ciesa Eftha Afandy.
So the first thing is the background. So in today's era, the internet is something that everyone use and essential for everyone. From all circles today, all the use internet for the daily lives, starting from looking for information, entertainment, and to learning media. And users of the internet also ranging from children to the elderly. However, as a medium that can be accessed from everyone, the internet needs to be provided a filter that function to filter things or content that might contain negative, inappropriate, or maybe harmful. And the filter is called content filter. So next is the definition of internet filtering or the content filtering. So the content filtering is the use of program to screen out or exclude access to web page or email that deem objectionable. So content filtering is used by corporation as part of their firewalls and also by computer owners or device users. Content filtering works by specifying content patterns such as text, strings, or objects within image that if match indicated undesirable content to be screened out or be removed. A content filter then will block all access to this content. Next is type of filters. So the first one is browse by filters. This work by installing add-on or extension in the browser to install the content filter and to block the access to the content that may be inappropriate or harmful. Next is search engine filters, which work or are already installed by any search engine, for example, Google search engine and Bing Safe Search. The downside of search engine that users can use another search engine that may not have content filter, or maybe just go straight to the URL if the user is remember the URL. Next is client-side filters, which mean the clients also install the filters or the application onto their device. The goal is to increase productivity and to prevent opening some sites that may be dangerous. Next is content limited ISP, which means the content or the filter is installed on the service provider. And then the network-based filters, which mean this is installed on transportation layer proxy, so to filter out the content or the internet. Next is the example of the internet filtering on various country. So the first country is the United States of America, which means the internet filtering become a national concern, which has been implemented as a regulation of Children's Internet Protection Act, which means the law requires the public library or school to install internet filtering to filter the inappropriate content for the children's. And the other example is on China. The China use the internet filtering to block many sites, including news media and other than other country. The target of the internet filtering in China is sites related to news, for example, like BBC, CNN, Times, PBS, and many more. The reason why China blocked these sites is to keep their country principles and many more. Next is categories of content filtering. First is the government level, which means the Ministry of Internet Communication and Information block the content of the filter, and then to protect the country principles. Next, the internet service provider level, which means the filtering does by the ISP by installing on the ISP, and then the blocked contents usually recommended by on the government. Next is organization level. In this level, usually installed on internet, local area network, or internet. And usually this done by organization to increase the productivity of the organization member. Last one is parent level, which means on the family level, the filtering does by the head of the family, which means our father, and then to prevent some kids to open some inappropriate content. Next is technique of internet filtering, which means the first one is IP level packet filtering. Next is domain name system and the content filtering in high protocol. Next is ways to content filter. First is content filtering. Manual content filtering is done by human. Next is automated filtering, which means by algorithm tools. And next is hybrid filtering, does by automated and manual, which means human and algorithm tools. Next is how filter algorithms work. So the first one is machine learning. The artificial intelligence deployed in filtering comes from machine learning. There are three approaches of the machine learning. So the first one is supervised learning, which means the machine is given some schema or given some how you say it like a patterns, and then the machine tell to learn this, and then the machine try to do some others kind of look like patterns. Next is unsupervised learning. So the unsupervised learning is so the machine is just like try to learn by itself. So and then try to fix the problems. Next is reinforcement learning, which means the machine giving rewards and penalty system. So the system try to achieve higher score as possible. Next is neural network. So neural networks are composed of set of nodes called by neurons, arranged in multiple layers and connected by links. The neural networks called that way because they reproduce some aspect of the human nervous system, which indeed consists of interconnected spatial cells, the biological neurons which receive transmit of connection. Next is how neural network works. In the case of filtering, the inputs may represent points in an image or words in a text. Each neuron applies some calculation to the input it receives, and if the result reaches the neuron threshold, the neuron activates, sending signal to the connected neurons or outside the network. So this is an example of schemas of image of neural learning in content filtering. Next is metadata, searching, hashing, and fingerprinting.
So we metadata filtering. Metadata filtering use the information that accompany an item of content or the data, providing information about that item. For example, of metadata are book title, author and publisher, or a song title, performance, and the length. And a movie, same as a movie, their detail of the metadata. The function of metadata search is used to find unauthorized copy of copyrighted work. Next is how the metadata works. The function of metadata search is used to find unauthorized copy of the copyrighted work. A file is scanned for metadata matching. If the file match with the metadata target copyrighted work and matching files are the same, the file will be filtered out and marked for removal. Next is hashing. A hash function works by taking a file and then take a small record that unique to the file. How hashing works? Hash-based filter, thinking that the unwanted item is available in the database of the hashes, such as copyrighted work that post without permission. The hash examined by taking small record or the hash item, then compared to hashes that are available on the database. If the hash item match between the hash item in the database and examined file, this means the file is the unwanted file of the hash. Next is content fingerprinting. Fingerprinting tools work like hash. The difference is fingerprinting store a set of relevant characteristics of underlying item, such as a section of a song file, a brightness and a movement on a video, or a snippet of a video. Next is filtering on text. Backlisting is an approach to filter a text by creating and maintaining a dataset of unwanted textual content. This happens by the incoming text compared with the dataset to spot out the negative text, which then the text will be rejected, flagged, or deleted. The example of blacklisting The easiest example is we can find it in the online forum or chat room or even in video game. Inside the chat room, there are a language filter or swear filter. The filter works by removing the expression of the character that potentially harmful or offensive to the community. Next is natural language filtering. Natural language processing is the subfield of computer science which study how to equip computer system to handle the language naturally spoken by humans. In textual filtering, natural language process is needed whenever the simple occurrence of certain word pattern is insufficient to classify the relevant textual item as needed. Next is filtering in image and multimedia. The example of tools for the filtering is Microsoft Photo and DNA. It helps finding and removing known image of child exploitation using hash mechanism. And then next one is a YouTube Content ID, which enable a copyright holder to identify the YouTube video that include content that the creator owns. Next is filtering image and text in memes. Memes are short message combining text and image or video, which tend to replicate with a quick uptake and spread across the internet. In filtering memes, the automatic identification of unwanted memes is particularly difficult because the meaning of memes is given by their combination of different media and require decoding contextual and sociocultural reference. The example of video and text filtering is on Facebook. They developed a machine learning approach called wall post integrity embedding to deal with content violating Facebook guideline. The system address multimedia content by providing a holistic analysis of post visual and textual content and related comment across all dimensions of inappropriateness. Understanding in spoken language. In order to analyze the content of podcast, soundtrack, and video, including spoken language, it is necessary to transform sound into textual sequence. This is the text of automated speech recognition, an area in which huge process has taken place in recent decades. The advantage of and disadvantage of content filtering. The advantage is content filtering help library or public organization to control ethically, as well help to control bad behavior. Filtering in school help to make less liability and cut down phone calls. And for home, helping to prevent family member opening item or site that may contain virus, malware, or other dangerous thing. Next, the disadvantage is the content filter may block the wrong site on general basis. This can happen because the safe site may contain inappropriate keyword. User can fix this by configuring the setting and unblock legitimate content.
So that's all from us. We are sorry and apologize if there are any mistaken words or flaw in our ISAS. So, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.